starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo! Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo! Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Pissy ass nigga named K.I.P. Crying ass nigga named motherfucking P. You see him on the panel, yeah, they talking about me. Yeah, you see him in the sector, yeah, they talking about D. Pussy ass nigga, silly ass nigga, old ass worn out dumb ass nigga. You see them all around in the motherfucking sector. They mad that they can't be the Godfather. Fuck the DBA, fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA, fuck the DBA, fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses, fuck the DBA.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Godfather D. Darrell Spears, broadcasting from the D. Darrell sector and also broadcasting from D. Darrell Live. Hope everybody is having an excellent Saturday day. We're going to get into it. We're going to try to have another nice, fun live stream. And I'm going to talk my shit. People that want to come on the panel can come and talk their shit. Speak your goddamn mind and let it do what it do. So, there's several things that I want to talk about today. And shout out to the chat. Let's get those likes up. Shout out to my boy Tampa Supreme. Shout out to the godmother, Miss T. Pre. Shout out to Miss Lady Dimples. Now, Lady Dimples, I saw the little comments about, I don't know what's up with this. Listen to Rev G talk about I'm homophobic and all that bullshit. That shit is not true. He need to deal with his own insecurities, not try to bring his insecurities on to me. I'm comfortable in my masculinity at all fucking times. I am comfortable. I have no issues with the LGBT community. I have no issues with the trans community. I have no issues with the bisexual, pansexual. I have no issues with people. Matter of fact, it's your business. You know, it's not my business what anybody does. I am in no position to judge anybody on how they want to carry on in their life. That's facts. Now, let's get to Cassandra Brown. Shout out to Miss Cassandra Brown saying, hi, Darrell. And what's up, May? May the Alchemist say, love your smile, brother. Appreciate the love, May. I definitely appreciate that. So, before we get started on Lenon, see, a lot of people don't understand because, you know, if you listen to, you know, this motherfucker here, you know, he and his feelings, because this is who he really is. And, you know, I don't know why he got my name in his mouth. I really don't talk about you. I make a little fun of you every now and then because you're basically all over the goddamn place. Nobody really watches you. You commented on my videos. I don't comment on you. You and your people. D. Darrell Dempsey Spears, Medicaid defrauder. I made D. Darrell lose a contract. That's a goddamn lie. I have not. You didn't make me lose one goddamn contract. I have never lost a state contract. Never, ever lost a stake. All you did was you thought you was going to make me lose my little. I'm paying them by Open Path. Open Path giving me the ability to, I'm paying them for advertisement. You think I give a fuck if you go there and they don't no longer want me to be, you know, am I paying you money? Are you serious? Quit lying, Rev. I'm still like this shit that you're doing, Rev, and your Reverend Gerald Palmer. This is, he claims he's LBGT he's a pastor. He tried to be a lecturer. He plays with baby dolls. Okay, he plays with toy kids and Legos at the age of 53 plus years of age. He's not comfortable with his sexuality. And so now he's projecting that to me because I know he loves Umar Johnson. I know he fantasizes about Umar. He's been fantasizing and obsessed with Umar for well over 10 years now. Obviously, he's been fantasizing over me, thinking that I'm fantasizing over him, and I said no such thing. he comes up with all this homoerotic content and statements that I've never stated. Rev G, listen, nobody watches you unless you doing something to force people to talk about you, which they really don't want to do, like myself. This is who you really are. Yes, ma'am, Cassandra. He plays with baby dolls. He has a garage full of Barbie dolls. And to be honest with you, you would think he would have black Barbie dolls and baby. No, he had white Barbie dolls that he plays with. He plays with the little troll toys, and he also plays with Legos at the age of 53 years of age and plus. This is what this man does. He has tea time with them, and he talks with both, like, hey, this is me. Hi, this is this is what he does. This is the kind of shit he does. He plays with the dolls, and he makes all kind of funny voices. This is what he does. Again, he's upset that I exposed the fact that he had a BBL, which he did get back, 10, 12, over 15 plus years ago. He had wide hips and breasts. He claims that I'm attracted to that. Yes, I'm attracted to that on women. Rev G, you're not a woman. Therefore, those things happen to you in a manner that was caused by, gluttony and bad eating habits, that you were 260 pounds and so on. And you couldn't lose it the natural way. So you got your BBL and a tummy tuck and a breast lift and all of those things. But listen, I support it. Hey, if Barbara is fine with that, let your wife Barbara be fine with it. I see you parlaying at a hotel, look like a nice hotel. You outside kicking it, saying that I should go to conferences and things of that sort. Well, me and your wife are both the same types of therapists, Rev G. So let her invite me to one of those conferences, and I'd love to go. Not you. You're an MS. You're not even licensed, Rev G. You're not even licensed. You've been non-clinical all your life. That's why you lost those jobs. You claim that I damn near lost my career. I've never lost my career. I make more money now than what I did back when I first started YouTube. And that's a fact. I make almost double, matter of fact. So I don't know what you're talking about, Rev G. He's saying his homophobic statements. I don't make homophobic statements. The whole Snacky Snack song is in reference to Kip, who's on the down low. He knows he's on the down low. He doesn't want to admit the fact that, Shakim admitted. Okay, let's talk about that. Why I made the Snacky Snack song. I made the Snacky Snack song because this man here, who looks, this is him, and I don't know what happened because this is the picture people thought he looked like. People were thinking he looked like this. For some reason, he also, is not comfortable in his own skin, and this is what he really looks like. It's a big difference from this to this. And he was in love with this man to the right, hot boy summer with his boyfriend there. I get that. And Kip was jealous because he wasn't on side of that light-skinned guy that's on side of Shakim Ra. He got to get, he got to get, unfortunately, he got this version of Shakim, I guess. So, the Vegas Shakim. So that's what's going on. This is him right now. He doesn't want to admit that he participated in fellatio with Shakim Ra. Is well documented. People were asking what does October 31st mean? October 31st represents Kip, interacting with Shakim in such a way that they engaged in, activities. And according to Shakim, Mr. Kip had some difficulties. They claim that I had to use red pills and different things like that in order for me to perform my little duties. But, Shakim basically said that Kip, couldn't. He went down and gave Kip fellatio also. And for some reason, Kip didn't respond accordingly. So I don't have anything to do with that. That's not my cup of tea. But that's what they engaged in. And unfortunately, they didn't go all the way for whatever that means. I've never called Rev G power bottom anything. All I stated was, sir, is that you, damn, that's me right there. All I was basically saying, sir, is that you had a BBL. It's a difference between how you look now than how you look 12, 13, 15 years ago. Those are facts. Those are just facts. Now, you're in your feelings about me. You're in your feelings about the fact that, I'm telling the truth about you, and then you have to lie about me. That's fine with me. Listen. Yes, he is gayness. And that's his business. Now, my problem is that I don't agree with black men lying to black women about their sexuality. And you're married to women, and you do all, you're married to a woman, and that is not what you want. You want Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson is the man that you have always wanted all your life, Gerald. You've been obsessed with Umar Johnson. You fantasize over Umar Johnson. You in love with Umar Johnson. You're mad that Umar Johnson rejects LGBT community because that means he's rejecting you. So that's what you're doing. What's up, Truism? He said, "What the fuck is this? What are we doing?" Hey, man, I'm just speaking on this man here. This man who is obese and grossly overweight. This man who has, again, he has a BBL done because of his wide hips. He had his tummy tucked. He had his breast augmented. He got his arms crossing over so he won't show his breast. And unfortunately, this man, he's mad at me because I'm saying the truth about him. And yes, he has lost weight. He's lost weight due to the fact that he got it done surgically. He didn't exercise and eat well over time. He decided that I'm going to the knife and I'm going to do this shit. The sooner the better. And this is what's going on. This is what's going on, and unfortunately, he engages with the AFWs per se. We all know who they are. We all know who Angela Michelle Stewart is. This is his wife. This is his YouTube wife / girlfriend. They all, including Lenon Honor, will be holding to this woman with the fro here. They love her to death and they honor her. They're willing to basically sacrifice their own lives and their own wives. I mean, Gerald, can you talk about the time that you begged me to quit doing Lenon Honor content because your wife and Lenon's wife, Lenon Honor's spiritual wife, were being affected by the gay rhetoric of Lenon Honor potentially being with this white man from Utah? I mean, you basically, okay, guys, I want y'all to understand this. You basically sent me an email, begging me to stop Flacco and Shaka Ra, who are once part of the good guys. I listened to you. I didn't know what to tell you because, I don't know how. I can't relate to a man who has a wife, but he's in love with Umar Johnson. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to being in love with another man. I can't relate to lusting and wanting to be a power bottom for Umar, and Umar rejects that type of behavior, and you're sickened by it. You're greatly sickened by the fact that Umar Johnson doesn't want you. He's not turned on by you. He's not gay, and you want him to be. I mean, you want him to be, so you can be, you can be your feminine self. This is Rev G's feminine self. What you're seeing now is a facade of who Rev G really is. But this is what represents what Rev G really is. I mean, it's quite obvious looking at this man what type of behaviors that he engages in sexually. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to realize this man a little sweet there. Look at his facial expression. Look at his body language. You know, look. He basically standing with one leg up and the side leg down, and slanted to the side with his leg to the side. I mean, that tells the whole story about Gerald Palmer. And no, Gerald, you the one threatened me to come to Kansas City. Listen, Gerald, I could have been Kansas City. I got several cousins, and I have an older brother that lives in the city of Kansas City. If I wanted to go to Kansas City to meet and link up, and you want to fight me and kick my ass in front of your house, you know, we could have done that years ago. I opted not to because I got better shit to do. If I ever decide to go visit my brother, I would, and I'm gonna have fun in Kansas City. That's just what it is, Gerald. Now, let's get the Lenon honor, guys, and you know, Mr. Gerald Palmer obviously is feeling some kind of way. Matter of fact, Gerald's not too fond of Lenon right now, and Andrew Michelle Stewart, they're not too, you know, they're not too happy about Lenon because Lenon took that money for years, and he wanted a raise. He said, "Look, this little $200-300 ain't enough every month. I need $400 to $500." Y'all fell out. Y'all were giving him money every goddamn week to do Umar videos, and then he got tired of it and he stopped. That's what happened. So that's where your money went, Gerald. You know, instead of investing in your wife's practice, you gave your money to Lenon Honor for years, $300 to $400 a month. You paid Lenon Honor to do Umar content, and those are just the facts. Those are just the facts. Now, like I stated, Lenon Honor is a liar. He is a scammer. He is a beggar, lying ass, broke harasser. Those are the facts. Now, to delineate myself from everybody else, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I'm not gonna hype it up or make it seem like something that's not. Lenon Honor is a fraud. He's always been a fraud. I exposed him for being a fraud years ago. People in his camp were mad at me. They were obsessed. They want to talk about Umar Johnson supporters being in a cult. It was very cult-like how Gerald Palmer and others would criticize me for talking on Lenon Honor. Like, I dare you talk about Lenon Honor. And I'm like, I'm basically saying, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Okay. So what's up, Conundrum? Conundrum said, DDS, love your interview with Jamal. Very insightful. SU taught you well. Hey, Southern University, home of the Jags on the bluff. Damn right. You damn right. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Okay. What's up, my opinion? She said, hey, D, darling. Appreciate that. But Rev and Lenon, you know, no one knows the one-on-one conversation and communication that Rev G and Lenon Honor had. These are two married men who are carrying on with the utmost disrespect of their wives. Rev G, on one hand, lost 2 jobs due to his bullshit on YouTube, and he still won't work. He's worried about my career when you should be worried about your own career because you're getting ready to retire in 5 years. Nigga, I got another 20 plus years for me to operate. Appreciate that. Simplified Accountant said, what's up, D? Enjoyed your interview with Jamal Johnson. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I tried my best. You know, but Rev G and Lenon, because you both go hand in hand together, because Rev G is right. 99% of the topics in the audio videos that you received came from the AFW via Andrew Michelle Stewart or Lenon Honor. So you are ready, you are prepared in that respect. I'm not gonna cover and go to all of that because really my fan base, my subscribers don't really give a shit, Gerald. Like, you're a fucking side note to the sector. You're a side note to every goddamn thing that means something in your life. Lenon Honor is a loser. He's a beggar. He's a liar. You know, he's lazy. He's broke. And anytime a man is crying about going to work to take care of 3 or more kids, has a problem. He has a problem. You know, and it's quite obvious you have a problem. Okay, it's very, very obvious you have a problem, Lenon. You have a problem with lying. You have a problem with cheating, leading people on with all kind of false promises. This is you. You're responsible for things, whether you participate or lack of communication. Things that are going wrong in our community are partially your fault because of your lack of engagement. And these are facts. These are facts. So, let's go on to Lenon Honor. Okay, let's get to that. Conundrum said, wait, didn't Anti say that D. Darrell wasn't your name years ago? Didn't she make mention that you were using someone else's name? Yes, she said I was using a person by the name of Jane Darrell. I was using her licensure. I wonder what happened to that particular line. Listen, all the lies, they all are lies. All those lies went away. And Living Light said, D, you look tired. Are you tired? I'm not really tired. I had a few drinks. Just like yesterday, I had a few drinks. So I'm a little, I'm a little, I'm not full, but I had a couple before going live today. I had about 3 drinks. So yeah, my eyes are a little, buzzy, but I'm feeling good. I'm looking good and feeling good. But appreciate that, Living Life. Appreciate that. Okay. Conundrum said you may be tired of the bullshit. Listen, I am tired of some of this bullshit, but I want you all to listen to this because I want you all to understand that Brother Jamal was very adamant that Lenon Honor was harassing him. And I'm going to make note. I'm going to make note of what was said. Okay? I want to make note of this because people don't really understand the issues that Brother Jamal had to go through. Okay? People don't really understand the reality of what Lenon was doing. Okay? And so we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about that. Okay? Just give me a second, guys. I'm trying to get to the actual, okay. I want y'all to give me a second and I'm going to show you what I am speaking of. Okay. But before I show you that, well, I think I can, give me a second. I could put it on the shared screen. This is what Brother Jamal was speaking of. And I just made comments of it. This is what Brother Jamal was speaking of. And I made note of this and I made comments. Okay. This is what Lenon Honor did. What you've been experiencing, what's been going on, what's been affecting you, and we can go from there.
Well, I'll just get to the point. This message in this conversation is directed to Lenon Honor, who's a YouTube content creator, and obviously someone who has done years of research and commentary on my son, but also on my family and myself. And I think it's gotten to a point where he needs to concentrate on my son if he chooses to do so. And I'm sure my son can handle that. but he needs to exclude myself and my family from his conversation. We have nothing to do with the issues, even though he's trying to link it all together.
Now let me stop. This is what Lenon Honor is doing. He's including him, Jamal Umar's family, where they should not be involved in this.
Now I'll give a little backstory about this. Some years ago, I did come on the internet, social media, to try to dissuade my son of some of his controversial and inflammatory statements about different things.
Right.
Not to bash him, but I was addressing the content that he made. Needless to say, it blew up into more than it should have been, mainly from the people who follow him, who I guess like this salacious type of stuff. But I was very serious in what I was doing. I was not trying to in any way demean him, but I was addressing his content. As a result of that, of course, I entered into the space that many of you are familiar with and that I was very much a novice in at the time I did it.
Right.
I have since truly regretted that. And I wouldn't be on here now if I didn't feel it was an extreme situation. Lenon Honor has addressed my son on what he has done and what he's accused of doing. He has misconstrued statements I've made. He's made narratives about me and my family which are totally untrue, which he cannot validate. He makes up scenarios based on dates and times and places. He does not have the accurate information because he's not talking to myself. And if he's talking to anyone who thinks they know me or is related to me, then they don't have accurate information. One thing he said recently, let me say this.
This is Lenon Honor.
I believe this, I'm positive. I'm 99.9% positive I've heard him call me a bitch at least once.
This is facts.
I know he's called my son a bitch many times.
Yes, he has.
He's
I've
called
never
me
heard you anything, but I have heard him speak ill of your son. But you
I'm
did
sure
express that to me. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, I'm sure he called me a bitch at least once. I actually started going through some of his old stuff to try to find it, but that's just hours and hours and hours of hearing him, and I don't want to do that. But the bottom line is this. He has called me a liar repeatedly. He has accused me of doing things I did not do, never did do, never would do. He's included this unfortunate situation that's currently going on with my granddaughter and my son and inflamed that to levels that it should not have gone to as it relates to me and my family. And we've spoken in the past. And he says his justification for all this is because I told my son he was related to Frederick Douglass. I don't see how me stating that one statement causes me to be involved in every video that he makes in a disparaging way towards me, my son, and my family. That has nothing to do with the issues that are on the forefront and are extremely controversial today. I will say this, only because he says this is the main reason why he's doing it. My son had stated many times that we are related to Frederick Douglass. I wanted to ascertain that once and for all. So some years ago, I took a DNA test by Ancestry.com for $99. There was another gentleman who had also taken a DNA, who is a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass. His profile, my profile, did not perfectly match up. As a result, neither one of us being experts in the field, he came to the conclusion we were not related. I piggybacked on that conclusion based on just what we read in black and white.
Okay.
I came back being transparent and stated what I saw and what I concluded. so that Lenon Honor can stop using this false statement as his reason to continue to drag myself and my family into his obviously profitable denunciations of my son and what he's doing. Now, if he wants to deal with my son one-on-one on this, do it. Stop using my name. Stop using my family. Stop using my dead wife. Stop using my advocacy in my community. Stop using my military time. Stop using everything that he knows about me.
Lies.
In a negative way.
This is what Lenon Honor was doing. This is what this Negro was doing. This is the things that Brother Jamal is saying that I don't watch Lenon. For those that watch Lenon, y'all know this in the chat. But I don't watch Lenon, so I don't watch him like that to be knowing what he's saying. I had no idea he was saying derogatory statements about Umar's family, particularly Brother Jamal, but it's obviously the case.
I have talked to Lenon Honor online and offline. I have never insulted him, called him out his name, disrespected him or his family in any way whatsoever. And I'm extremely upset that at this point in time, in light of what's going on with my family, unfortunately, as public as it is with my son and his daughter, that this guy continues to use not only my son for bait, but also my family. I'm sure he can get enough views and clicks just from my son. He doesn't need me, and he doesn't need my family. I've reached out to some legal figures to ask them what can be.
Okay, we have a little bit of technical.
And to hear this and then to be told from their friends what they may have seen or heard on YouTube about their grandfather and their father is ridiculous. I don't have a stake in this thing. This is something that he needs to take up with my son and my son alone. Leave me out of it. Leave my family out of it. Leave my wife out of it. Leave my children out of it. And this is the message I want to get to him.
Now, this is the message. Hold on, guys. This is the message of what Jamal was complaining about. Now I want to show you Lenon Honor's response to what Jamal was saying. And I'm going to show you the lack of respect that Lenon Honor has for Umar Johnson's family. Listen to this.
I ain't related to not one of y'all. Okay. I can imagine Jamal, man. He was attacking me. And he keep on talking about me.
Now, this is Lenon Honor.
All right, man. I ain't gonna talk about you again. Stop sending me messages, you bugaboo. Anyway.
This is what he was saying. You see, he taking it lightly. Like, seriously, this was Lenon Honor's response. Let me play it one more time.
And say that he's been attacked by the Cookie Crush. I ain't related to not one of y'all. Okay. I can imagine Jamal, man. He was attacking me. And he keep on talking about me. All right, man. I ain't gonna talk about you again. Stop sending me messages, you bugaboo. Anyway.
Now, this is Lenon Honor, the great father, the great spiritual husband, the failed lecturer, educator, life coach, fatherhood extraordinaire, and all this other craziness that people believed. Okay? And so what I want to do now, guys, is I want to start talking about the scammer named Lenon Honor. You see, a lot of you don't realize that Lenon Honor participated in a great deal of scams. Now, the most notable scam, in my opinion, was the fact that he scammed his subscribers out of donating to his son's medical procedure, which was free because this lame Negro is not on paper being in the house, and his wife is able to file to get government benefits, and they had Medicaid. So how have you had Medicaid? Everything is free when you got Medicaid, but before you do a procedure like that, you have to do what's called you have to be pre-authorized. Once you are pre-authorized and then authorized to do the service, Medicaid pays the insurance. They approve for the insurance for the hospital to do whatever procedure they were on your son. Lenon Honor had a goal of $10,000. $10,000 is what he was supposed to have paid for that procedure. Lenon Honor, within a few days, raised over $9,500. He raised that money. Okay, he raised that money, and you know what happened? He later said, "Oh, we found out it was malignant. It wasn't a big deal. My son's okay now. Appreciate you all." And he kept the $9,500. That's scamming. That is what Lenon did. Okay? Because his son didn't need to. My Joe Trace, shout out to Joe Trace in there. It wasn't the fact that he skipped the surgery. The child was found to be healthy enough where he didn't need a surgery. It was all a lie. This is a scammer. Okay? This is what scammers do. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about the big move. He scammed the people out of over $8,000 so that he could move from California to Utah. Okay? They bought everything in his house, from the furniture, the clothing, the beds, to the goddamn cups and glasses and utensils. They paid for the soaps. They paid for everything. The big move was a scam. He scammed people out of money that he should have been, as a father. He should have been able to have taken care of this himself, but he depended on you, like this guy Mickey D and other, fucked up ass Lenon supporters who are delusional. Okay. So this is what Lenon did. Okay. And these are documented facts that Lenon did this. The other thing Lenon scammed, Lenon tried to scam his subscribers, because the subscribers are the dumb ones. They're the one who continues to give. And so the thing about it, the things that you claim Umar Johnson scam, Lenon Honor has did this tenfold. Lenon Honor tried to scam his subscribers and giving his children Christmas gifts, knowing damn well they don't celebrate Christmas. He don't even celebrate holidays like that. And he scammed people saying that, if you want to give us gifts, if you want to give us gifts and trinkets and everything, you wish to, so that my kids can have a wonderful holiday, please do so. Had the kids up at 11 o'clock at night. These kids were tired and sleepy. They wasn't even talking. They could barely stay up through the video. You could tell he got his kids up out the fucking bed so that he can go begging to the YouTube space for money. This is what Jamal did. Okay? Jamal did this. And you know what happened? I don't know how successful he was at that scam, but this is what he did. And these are facts. This is what Jamal did. I'm sorry. This is what Lenon Honor did. Now let's go to some other noticeable. Shout out to Pillsbury. Other notable scams. There were issues about paying for that he had GoFundMes that were scams. He had multiple GoFundMe accounts. They even talked about trying to do a scam of raising money for Anissa. That's going to be a scam. A GoFundMe, another Go. And he talked about Umar with PayPal, Umar with GoFundMe accounts. And Lenon was doing that. Lenon, I think his family member of Aida passed away, to her mom, I think, or something. They did a scam. They did several scams of raising money for funerals. Okay? A scam. This is well documented. He scammed a young female who contacted me in disbelief over the bad services or the unprofessional services that she received from Lenon Honor, quote, being a life coach, a relationship coach, a marriage expert, and never been married a day in his fucking life with all them goddamn kids, and he barely worked. He went 10 years without even working. These are facts. This is scammer. Okay? Lenon Honor has participated in some of the most egregious behavior, taking a young child that was outside, unattended to, putting this child on camera for hours before calling the police instead of bringing that child back to their home because the child probably snuck out. And yes, the parents should be held accountable for the fact that, they I don't know if it was neglectful, the child just snuck out being mischievous, but these guys kept that child for hours, put her on camera without parental consent, was trying to raise money, put this young child. To me, that was traumatic in itself for that child, because she's sitting around with people she don't fucking know that got a camera in her goddamn face, and you're calling the police and calling people. This is what your quote unquote world's greatest, brokest, laziest, none working ass YouTube father was doing, Lenon Honor. And these are facts. Okay? But not only that, not only that, Lenon Honor, scammed the AFWs. And I hate, because he's no longer an AFW anymore, guys. Lenon Honor scammed Andrea Michelle Stewart, and he scammed Reverend Gerald Palmer. He scammed them to the point that they were paying him $300 to $400 to $500 a month to do Umar Johnson videos. And then he took their money and stopped doing the videos. This is the bullshit. This is the bullshit that Lenon Honor does. Okay? This is what Lenon Honor did. He scammed Gerald. They talking about fraud. This Negro took your money since 2018-19. Took your money. He took your money, Gerald. I want to let you all know what Lenon did. Lenon took this woman money, okay? And then he decided to stop, I'm going to do what I want to do. He took Andrea Michelle Stewart's money, okay? Took her money and didn't give it back and stopped doing the videos. He took Rev G's BBL money and his tummy tuck and his breast augmentation money to maintain that shit. You got to go to the doctor and get evaluated every so many years and months and shit like that. Took this man money and said he was going to do Umar Johnson videos forever, which, by the way, he continues to do, even though he took a break. But now, the cybersecurity lies. He worked in that industry for like 6 months. Claimed that, I can't believe I took an oath of poverty. I was wrong. Apologize to my wife and my kids for allowing y'all to live in poverty and offer government assistance when I should have took my big head black ass to goddamn work. so that we can have a decent living. We can't buy a fucking house because I ain't got no goddamn credit. This was what he stated. I don't have the credit because you didn't have a job. Aida busting her ass making beads and necklaces, selling it online. These are scams. Claiming you're a life coach. Scam this lady came to me in disbelief of the fact that she disclosed important information about her life being molested, being sexually assaulted by her father, affecting her relationships. She came to me, the professional, D. Durrell, because you're not. You're worried about Umar Johnson's credentials. Umar Johnson has credentials. He has degrees. D. Durrell, the Godfather, got degrees, licenses, and et cetera, upon et cetera. Okay? And this lady was like, I appreciate you for doing this video and exposing him because I was really hurt. She claimed Leonora Honor was more concerned about her having sex, doing whatever she needs to do to have sex with her boyfriend and get over the bullshit. The stuff, according to him, the bullshit that happened with her dad, not understanding the trauma of that interaction can affect you long term with the opposite sex or the same sex or anybody that you claim to be intimate with. But this is what you Negroes paid $99, $100 an hour for. Consulting. That is a scam. Lenon Honor is not trained in this. Lenon Honor does not have professional experience. Lenon Honor does not have licenses and certifications to do any of that type of work. But I do. But I'm not here scamming people. This is what Lenon Honor does. He's the biggest liar, scammer, beggar, lazy ass, broke harasser. Listen. I'm gonna say it again. This is what this
that he's been attacked by the Cookie Crush. I ain't related to not one of y'all. Okay. I can imagine Jamal, man. He was attacking me. And he keep on talking about me. All right, man. I ain't gonna talk about you again. Stop sending me messages, you bugaboo. Anyway.
And he continues to do so. Those are lies. Lenon Honor continues to harass the Johnson family, Umar Johnson's family, harass, slander, defame everybody, including Umar Johnson. This man is a failed lecturer, a failed book writer, artist, poet, musician, everything that he's attempted to do online. The only thing he ever was successful in life was talking about Umar Johnson, and that's because he linked up with people who were equally as obsessed and out of their fucking mind that they were willing to pay him to do so. So this man and that woman are the reason why Lenon Honor has what he has, and now they're angry. They're both angry right now because he left them the fuck alone after he had made as much money as he did. And he didn't see it going anywhere after that. He stopped doing it. To the point that he don't even contact. See, Rev G missed those late night text messages and cozying up conversation that him and Lenon had. You know, they don't have that no more. So Rev G is in his ass right now. You know, because he don't have access to Lenon anymore. That's the real reason why Gerald is upset. Gerald is upset because he once had, you know, he had access to this man. He could hear his voice, could hear him breathing, and all this other shit. His fantasies of this man. This is what Rev G missed. And Lenon said, "Look, y'all gave me money when I'm in need." Now I don't need it anymore. I got people like I forgot the guy that go on his channel and always donating. He got his Patreon making money. He kicked the AFWs to the curb. And now Andrew Michelle Stewart and Gerald Palmer are upset because he don't want to associate with them anymore. These are the facts. Now, we can talk about this all day. And I'm going to send the link out for those who want to come up in the link and chop it up with me. But it is a fact that Lenon Honor is a liar, a scammer, lazy ass, broke harasser. He harassed his family. Jamal does not come on the internet speaking on anybody. Matter of fact, since he's been just recently coming back, he hasn't been on YouTube for years. I stay in communication with him. He goes and travel a lot. He does a lot of community work. He's a man that is about the community. Okay? He is a man that is about the community. But he's not about to go back and forth with losers like you, Lenon. And I know you're watching, Lenon, because that's what broke people do. You ain't got shit else to do until you go live. You went live one time, you went live one day where each live stream was at least 5 to 8 hours. You went live in the morning about 8 hours. You went live again 6, 7 hours. And then you went live at night about 3 to 4 hours. He did that shit 3 times 2 weeks ago. But this Angel Hair Pasta is the person you trying to compare the Godfather to. You trying to say that people used to tell me, you jealous of Lenon Honor? I'm like, are you okay? Like, are you really? Why would I, the Godfather, D. Darrell, riding in the Escalades and the goddamn Range Rovers, living in a goddamn 4,000K square foot house, looking out the goddamn balcony, looking at the goddamn lakes, worried about a broke ass nigga that got washing his clothes outside with a washing machine outside. Is that what you're telling me? This chain alone costs more than his rent. Stop it. Stop it. My mortgage, I pay more in my mortgage than what this nigga make a month on YouTube. Stop it. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you? This is ridiculous to be saying such things, Angel Hair Pasta. And by the way, Angel Hair Pasta, I know you're watching. Shout out to your boy KKC, because I fuck with KKC now. Me and him cool. I watch it. We may not agree on a lot of shit, but I watch KKC. Talk to your girl, KKC. Put some goddamn sense in her mind, in her head. Because Angel Hair, you know where the Godfather is. We ain't but a few freeways away from each other. We ain't but 10, 20, 30 minutes. We ain't but a few stop signs away. You know where I'm at. If you want the presence of the Godfather, you want to come to the conscious clientele. Remember when you came to my channel, you had to let your hair down and you was up there leaning out where your hair can fall back and you up there waving it and shit, talking shit. Remember that? And you couldn't handle the pressure. You wasn't ready for prime time. And the AFWs kicked you to the goddamn curb. Yeah, Angel Hair Pasta. I remember that shit. I remember that. I remember that, Angel Hair Pasta. You're so funny. I remember you, girl. I remember. So I sent the link. Anybody want to come up? I'm going to give it about 5 minutes. We're almost at an hour. If nobody comes up, I will go ahead and end this live stream. But what I'm saying about Lenon is true. This same goofy ass nigga sent a letter to my board talking about I tried to diagnose him, and they threw that shit out swiftly, quickly, without a thought, because there's no such thing occurred. Lenon Honor is in his feelings because you haven't built a goddamn thing. You criticizing somebody. I don't know who worse. I don't know who worse. You criticize Umar for the very shit that you doing. Aida is a baby mama. You're not legally legally married to. Now I'm wondering, Lenon, because that room that you doing your content looks very different from the shit of the past. Lenon, I don't know, Lenon. Look like you didn't move. We barely see the kids no more. You know, like Lenon, what's going on here, Lenon? Like, did somebody like have a change of heart about fucking with your trifling ass? Like, because it seemed like somebody had enough and say she ain't fucking with you no more. Like, something's not right, Lenon. Let's talk about that. Like we need to discuss these things. Something happened because at one time we would hear the kids, we know the kids were there and stuff like that. And now that's not the case anymore. So now as he putting all his live streams on members only now. Okay. Hold on one second. Oh, no, it's not. Give me a second. I want y'all to see this. I want you all to see this. Look at this screen. That is not the same room Lenon Honor was living in years ago. Let me tell y'all how I know this is different. Number one, the room that Lenon was in originally was way bigger than this. Okay. And the room was bigger. It didn't have a door. They didn't have two doors in the background. Okay. And then this used to be somebody I was cool with, the information man. You know, the first person that ever interviewed me on YouTube was the information man back in 2018. Now, 7 years later, man, the information man had lost his goddamn mind. Nigga that lost his look, information man, look, listen, stop, man. Listen, if you want to not like Umar Johnson for whatever reasons, and yes, you did donate, now, just like I did, but when you start praising these motherfuckers, information man, I'm looking at you sideways. Another thing, the carpets were different. The two doors in the background. This is not the same. This is not the same house. Not yet, babe. But this is what he living in. Now, I'm gonna take this down because I want to show y'all something else to make my point. Okay. When you look at Lenon Honor, that's what he was doing back then. Now, if you go back to some of Lenon old ass videos, this is a year ago. Okay. Let's go to this. Do that look like the same space? Do that look like the same fucking space? No, it's not. It's a different room. The rooms in that other place was white. These rooms are kind of like beige or an off-white, light brown. Not the same thing. This Negro is not living with Aida. Aida kicked his ass out, or he living in a separate house. He is not living. That nigga is separated. She need to go put his ass on child support and put his ass in the rears for all them years. I know he got one child that got to be at least 18, 19 years old, at least. You got 4 other kids, Lenon. Human Resources said you're one of the only content creators who lost weight instead of gained. Appreciate that. Yeah, I tried, man. I got weighed the other day just going. I lost 10 pounds since I I've been losing weight before that, but I've lost well over 15 pounds in the last 3 months. But I was losing weight prior to that. I lost over 20 pounds back in late 23, early, like around January, February of 24. And then I started maintaining. I lost about 25 pounds. I lost about 25 pounds. I maintained it. Went back to the doctor yesterday. He told me I lost another 10 pounds. So I don't really want to be any smaller than what I am now. I think I'm kind of where I need to be. But yeah, this is where Lenon. This is not the same place. This is not it. Lenon living somewhere different. Look like somebody kicked that nigga out. Let's look at this. Look at this, guys. This was over a year ago. This looks totally different. Look at this. The lighting. Look, the rooms that we saw at the beginning were both towards the left. This door was to the right. You had two doors. You had one door kind of closer up, then you had another door going further down to the wall. Look at these. You had doors to the left, to the right, and towards the back. This is not the same house. And of course, he's trying to play the flute. Right now, I weigh about 210. Owen Supreme. I weigh about 210 pounds. Before I started losing weight, I was around 240, 245. Now I'm about 210. So that's where I'm at. Freeway City Ray said, Jamal Johnson, thank you for your service. Lenon Honor wouldn't have the balls to talk shit to Jamal in person. Salute to you, D. Darrell. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Looking for what you said. Look, that don't look the same. Quit lying. Quit lying. It don't look the same. That shit look different. And Owen Supreme said you look 170. That's cool. Now I'm not 170. I don't want to get that little. Even though, you know, according to the white man scale, the white man measurement of things, I should be about 180 pounds, I think, something like that. But I don't want to get that. I want to be over 200 pounds. I gotta have some meat on my body. I ain't trying to be, you know, skinny like that. No, that's not my thing. That's not me. Okay, that's not me. But it's probably, you know, for my size and weight, for my height and everything like that. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9", 210. That's what I am right now. Okay. Human Resources said you cannot use the white man's BMI chart. That is facts. That is facts. Our genetics is totally different. Our genetics is different. We have more muscle mass due to fucking slavery. You know, when you fucking genetically, you know, breeding people to get bigger people and stronger people, that's what happens. That is what happens. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here since nobody wanted to come up. I ain't want to take too much of y'all time. I'm going to chill out, man, and maybe watch some more NCAA basketball or something. I'm going to give me some more drinky drink, you know, have little chats and do other little stuff. I may work on some music, all of that good stuff. I'm going to try to enjoy my day, guys. I want y'all to enjoy your day. This is D. Darrell with D. Darrell, The Rebirth Live, and broadcasting from the D. Darrell sector.